All right, so this video comes from the Discord. It's about Pippa being real, really real, because I checked out like the first 5 seconds. So apparently this is something very interesting, very deep, and I actually can't wait to check this out. I was supposed to go to bed like 2 videos ago, but I was like, hey, it's Pippa Pipkin, baby. Let's go ahead and check this out.
What did Jeffrey deserve then? Well, you don't really... I feel like you don't deserve anything in life, you know? I feel like I have a very like cynical point of view on the world where it's like human beings are at the end of the day extremely disposable, right?
That is true.
Or expendable. I don't think people are owed anything. I don't think we're owed life or liberty or happiness. I think these are things that you have to fight for if you want them, because expecting them to be given to you is just narcissism. There's so many people that don't have these things given to them, that they do have to fight for them.
True.
And for you to go, well, but I'm owed these things, but
Just
I
give it to
deserve
me.
to have these things. Well, everyone should have these things. Well, in an ideal world, everyone would have everything that they need and be happy. But at the end of the day,
True.
you know, like if you got hit by a car, you'd be dead.
There it is.
And that'd be
Yeah.
the end of it.
Yep.
At the end of the day, there's thousands of people dying every single day
Yep.
that you'll never hear about, you'll never know about,
Yep.
who didn't have the resources that you have, or maybe had more. And you'll never know.
Yep.
Because realistically, like all you can see is your own world, right?
Yes. Your own
All
perspective.
you can see is the world that's around you. And that world is the same for everybody. I don't know if that makes
It's a
any
bubble.
sense.
Yeah. No.
The
No,
world-
that makes complete sense. Well, of course, to me, right? It's your boy KhunShawn, bro. We talk about deep topics all the time over here on this channel. But yeah, 100%. What she is talking about is absolutely true. And you know, when it comes to consciousness, right? So we might as well talk about consciousness because we're talking about perspectives, right? We're talking about everybody having their own world. Everybody lives in their own bubble. Right? When it comes to consciousness, you can grow your consciousness, right? You can think about yourself, only about yourself, and then you can think about somebody that is looking at you and you can try and think, what do they think about me? Or what do they think about my clothing? Or what is it that you're trying to observe that's bigger than yourself? That's all consciousness is. Sorry, I had to cough for a second. That's all consciousness is. And it's absolutely true that the world is up to your interpretation. And at the end of the day, you're not owed anything by anybody else. Everything that you get in this world is something you either earn or it's given to you. But to expect people to give you something is absolutely wrong. The only people that do that are people that are in charge of other human beings. So if you own somebody else, sure, you can expect them to give you something, but that's not them willingly giving it to you. And unless you're in some type of position of power, you shouldn't expect people to hand you anything, whether it's a $5 bill or a smile or just some good advice. Nobody is owed any of these things. These are things that are just given out, or it's something that's earned. So absolutely, she's absolutely right, man. Pippa is absolutely spitting right now.
just is the way it is, and it's never going to be kind to you. Sometimes other people will be kind to you, but at the end of the day, the world isn't going to be. You're just as expendable as everybody else, and so you have to take charge of your future. You have to grasp the things that you want, because maybe you'll get lucky and somebody will give you those things, but the world just is the way it is, so you might as well just do it yourself.
I mean, to be honest, the keys to success are all around you. Sorry, I didn't mean to end the video. That'd be a crazy way to end the video, though. But the keys to success are all around you. And the thing is, a lot of people aren't aware of that fact. Everybody has the ability to go to YouTube or go to Google or go anywhere on the internet and type in how to live a more fulfilling life, how to make money, how to get rich, how to get smart. And of course, there's these pitfalls and false realities and traps, but there are legitimately good pieces of advice all over the internet. But if you're too busy watching Moo Dang not take a bath, well, no surprise, you're not aware of the fact that you can get better in life. If you're so focused on what the current meme is, or what the next meme is, or what the old meme is, then yeah, you're not going to be growing your personal development. A dollar spent on personal development is never a dollar wasted. But you consuming just BS on the internet is not going to make you a better person. And if you cannot make yourself a better person, you're not going to have better opportunities come your way. But if you're conscious of the fact and you grow a growth mindset, you will be more conscious of the fact that, hey, there are opportunities legitimately all around you that you could legitimately take if you weren't so busy being force fed BS content online. And I'm not mad and I'm not blaming anybody for falling into these traps, because that is legitimately how the world has been designed. The world has been designed for you to fall for these traps, to be scrolling infinite, like the infinite scroll on Instagram, the infinite scroll on Twitter, TikTok, whatever. It's infinite for a reason, because it works, because people fall into this trap, this false reality, because they're so distracted, right? When we talk about TikTok brain rot, right? This stuff is legitimately real. It's not anything made up. And some people are aware that they're being fed brain rot, but they can't help but to fall into the genjutsu, to fall into the trap. Yeah, if you want to live a better life, you 100% can. There are books, there are tools, there are educators. Literally, a lot of the great mentors that I have met in my life, multimillionaires, very influential and very important people, they're willing to give this information for free. You just have to ask. But how, like, why would you ask if everywhere you go, you're only looking at your phone, or you don't talk to random people, or you don't do anything else besides stay in your world or stay online? You can't gain anything besides staying in this, whatever the algorithm gives you. And it's just a trap a lot of people fall into. And it's it's not really anybody's fault besides the people that are creating these things, if anything. Because how can I blame you for falling into a trap if you never knew it was a trap to begin with? Let's continue the video.
Rather than hoping and believing in other people. No, like, it's not like, I don't want it to be like pessimistic of like, oh well, don't ever believe in other people, don't trust in people, you don't deserve anything, you have to be on that Sigma grind set. I don't think it's that extreme, right? I think it's just like you have to ensure your own survival. You can't.
Yes, you do.
If you hope other people will take care of you, you're placing your life in their hands. But your life is not in their hands. Your life is in the hands of the world. And the world is filled with all of these people and all these circumstances and all of these laws that drive.
Come on.
Everything.
Come on, Pippa.
So take care of yourself.
She was trying to find it. She was trying to figure it out. It's not easy doing this type of content, man. To be able to speak your mind and try and help people is absolutely not easy, especially if, like, I believe she's streaming, right? This is not easy to do. So yeah, congratulations on getting your words out, Pippa. Let's go. W Pippa.
Do your best. Just take for yourself and don't take anything for granted.
I don't know about that
just
one.
Take for yourself.
I don't know
blame
about
people
that one, brother.
that do, right? I get a lot of shit when I'm like, oh yeah, no, like I think people that are on that like hustle grind set, people that are like unapologetically like capitalist are based. People get upset about that. People are like, but Pippa, they're like hurting people. They're like, Pippa, they're like spreading misinformation, or Pippa, they're being mean to other content creators. Like, I don't think you should be mean or whatever, but also like it all feels so inconsequential. Life is hard, so if somebody can survive off of like making videos where they talk about how you should eat nothing but liver and the women are stupid, I don't care. Like, more power to you. Is it good? Is it a good thing to do? No. Should I probably care? I guess, but it's like whatever.
Nobody's forcing you to care
like,
about
whatever.
anything. Morality is very subjective, right? And a lot of people, they think spirituality is like the answer to everything. Spirituality is not good or bad. Spirituality is just seeing things that aren't physical, seeing things that aren't on a surface level, right? So definitely, when people are saying, "Oh, you should be nice or you should be good," you should be, friendly and stuff. Like I agree, definitely, but we don't live in a world like that. We don't live in a world where people prioritize that, because if that was the case, well, then more people would be more friendly. There would be more peace in this world, and I wish there really was. Um, but for some people, it's only like that commenter said earlier. Take for yourself, and it's like, take for yourself. Like, I mean, that's an easy way to fall into greed and fall into that trap, because that's a different type of trap that's laid out. It's like, let me grab everything and hoard it. Like some people will get a lot of money and they'll put it in the bank. They'll just save it, right? Money is supposed to go in and it's supposed to come out. The secret is you're supposed to take more in than you are giving out. That is it. That is literally how it works. If you just keep taking it in and you keep holding it, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to grow. It's not going to benefit anybody. It's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to make you more happy, right? And it's easy, again, to fall for these traps. It's super easy and it's super simple. Let's keep going though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and preach to you guys all day, especially for free, man. Hey, if you guys want to legitimately want to hear more about this type of stuff, man, join the membership. I'll be dropping member exclusive videos talking about this type of content, these type of conversations, because they definitely are important. But one, I don't think a lot of people want to hear it. I would love to be proven wrong on that. But for two, I don't think a lot of people can really understand it or have the enough time to actually sit and grasp it. But if you got time, hey, let me know by joining the membership. That's the best way to let me know you guys are interested.
It's not worth it most of the time. It's not. It's not. People will be like, Pippa, but these content creators are making videos complaining about these other content creators and they're this or they're that. It's like, just don't fucking look at them.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah.
Who cares? Let them get their bag.
They're
They
doing their own thing.
Especially if it's not directly affecting you. Yeah. I'm gonna keep
You
buying
can't care about
my
everything,
phones
period.
made with slave labor because I don't care. I don't.
There it
I
is.
don't have enough energy.
There it is.
Would I change it if I could? Yes. If you were like, Pippa, I'm giving you the power to stop phones from being made with slavery, I'd be like, okay, yeah. No more phones made with slavery. I keep saying this as if I know for a fact phones are made with slavery. I feel like they were at one point. Maybe they're not anymore. I don't know. They're still...
And look, to be honest, does it make a difference if you found out that it really was? I don't think it does.
like t-shirts that Walmart sells
I don't
made
think it
in
makes a
horrible
difference.
conditions. So whatever they are, okay. But I don't think me being like, I'm not gonna buy a phone anymore, that's not gonna help.
Yeah.
That's not gonna fucking help. People get mad. People are like, Pippa, what do you mean boycotts don't work? Of course boycotts work. It's like, no, boycotts 99% of the time do not work. They don't. I'm happy for you that you can place such faith in that system, but come on. They don't work. They work if everyone does it. They work if everyone does it. And very rarely, very rarely, sometimes boycotts will work. But most people, yeah, they can't be bothered. It's mostly performative. It's mostly performative. And I get tired of that. I get tired of that. People are like, Pippa, you're too okay with this, or Pippa, you're being too complacent about that, and blah blah blah. And it's like, I just don't care. And I feel like most of the people who you think care also don't care. They are just being performative. You know, as a society, we value so much people who are on 24/7, acting like they're fighting for something. And I just don't think they are. I don't think they are. I don't think they care that much. I don't think Andrew Tate cares that much. I don't think the pussification of video games guy cares that much. I don't think the fucking... Did I already say Andrew Tate? I don't think J.K. Rowling, I don't think these people actually care. Usually they have opinions that they say because they make more money off of it. And it's all just a way to pay the bills. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to fucking waste my time like that. I don't fault them for it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think in a weird way it's kind of admirable to give people something that they believe in and to be so in character all the time like that.
I mean, that's an interesting take. If anything, it just sounds like somebody that is just tired. Honestly, like this whole vibe just sounds like somebody that's tired of the internet, which would make sense if you're on it all the time. Yeah, like honestly, what she's saying is I want to say it's half true and half, just speculatory. Um, do people care? I mean, they care enough, right? They care enough to build some type of platform on it. Whether they truly fervently believe it and believe their stance, and that's a whole different conversation. Um, but overall, I would say it's okay for you as an individual, Pippa Pipkin, to not, care or not want to talk about these things. Um, but as a community leader, right? Because you have a community. Of course, your community wants to hear what is your stance on these topics. Where do you stand on the line? Because if they are supporting you, which they are, right? Whether they're subbing or being just viewers or whatever, right? They want to know what they're supporting. Where they want to know what they're backing because so whether you like it or not, or you're aware of it or not, people look to you for guidance for your opinion, right? There's a reason why this part of your stream was clipped and uploaded, right? And there's a reason why it has 23,000 views, right? 23,000 people saw this Pippa being real for a moment and they clicked and they watched it. And then 250 people left comments about it, right? So people do care. Um, some people I would say, of course, care way too much. But yeah, there is such thing as caring way too little as well. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to feel how you feel. And I'm not going to sit here and say that she should feel a certain way more than another. It's just who she is and how she feels. And if anything, you should definitely talk to her about it if you want her to explain in more detail. But you're not going to convince Pippa to take a stand left or right, middle, center, up or down on whatever topic. It's always going to be up to her as an individual to figure that out.
I can see a sort of beauty in it. You can get down to the, but Pippa, Andrew Tate was human trafficking women. It's like fucking no shit. That's bad. Like, come on.
Of course.
But I get why people like it, and in like a weird way, I'm happy people can like that. I'm happy people can find something that gives their lives meaning.
So she's talking on a deeper level, right? She's not even talking about good or bad because obviously human trafficking is bad, right? But having people that have a philosophy to follow, whether that philosophy is good or bad, I mean, at this point, we're not even talking about that. She's just saying she's happy people give some type of meaning to their life, which honestly, I mean, me personally, I'm gonna say it's definitely dependent, right? Some people have no purpose of living whatsoever, but they keep living. And then other people have a purpose for living, and that's to cause more harm in the world. And I think those people shouldn't be living like that, but at the same time, it is their life to live. So, yeah, there's definitely multiple stances and multiple grounds on a conversation like this, especially if we're going to go past morality and just go into the hey, you live your life, I live mine, right? Uh, to each his own, right? You try not to interfere with other people's lives. You just try and live yours to the best of your ability. And yeah, we all live our own separate lives, but at the end of the day, we're all connected. Whether you realize it or not, or like it or not, we are all connected. And I'm not talking just on a spiritual level. I'm talking about like just legitimately. Like if there was a issue where you saw somebody and they needed help crossing the street and you were there, would you do something? Yes or no? If you would, amazing. You're a hero. If you said no, cool, you're a bystander, but that doesn't stop the hero right next to you that said yes. And then they go and help the person across the street, right? You not doing something does not affect how somebody else will react to something. So yeah, we're all connected in each another way. And like you saying no, if you saw somebody do something that positively helped another human being, maybe you would be inclined for next time to do something to help somebody else. Maybe, right? For some people, it'll take a miracle for them to actually do something to help another human being. For other people, it's just in their nature to help somebody else.
Because it's really hard to find meaning. It's really hard to find things to be happy about. It's hard to find things to care about in life. I'm Random Guy, thank you. I really love these long Pippa rants you go on after every one of these endings. These are filter streams. These are filter streams in a weird way, because a lot of people click onto them to watch the game and they listen to this and they're like, oh fuck. Pippa's got the most dog shit opinions in the world. Pippa, stop tangenting. Pippa, move on.
I don't even
We're
know.
circling back to separate the art from the artist.
I just hear.
Yeah,
I just see
in a
the
fucked
clips.
up kind of way, I think it is kind of an art. Here's my batshit insane taste. I think like in a weird way, like influencer culture is kind of an art. I think it's kind of like it's kind of like a bard. Do I think they're as technically skilled as a musician playing in a fucking tavern, keeping the atmosphere going for a bunch of people who are fucking only eating potatoes and chicken liver for their entire lives? No.
I would say yes. If you're able to convince hundreds of thousands of people to buy a piece of shit energy drink, that's probably not even energy, right? Prime, for example, that's amazing. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. You were able to cast people under some type of illusion or some type of genjutsu to buy your product, whether it was marketing, advertising, whatever. You were able to do that. And that is impressive. Whether it's a good impressive or a bad impressive, doesn't matter. It is something that is interesting because not everybody can do that. So yeah, I would say influencer culture is definitely amazing. Whether it's good or bad, I mean, bro, why are people buying it? Why do people eat fast food even though it's legitimately poisoning you, right? You know, people still do shit even though it's not in their best interest. That's nothing new. But to have a whole culture on the internet surrounded behind doing it, you know, to each his own. Again, to each his own. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm not going to sit here and tell you whether it's good or bad because at this point, it doesn't matter. We're talking about something that's more, how do you feel about it? You know, well, how I feel about it is just like whatever. I'm just, you know, breaking it down and then interpreting it. But for it to be good or bad, it just is what it is.
I don't. But I think that there's something really interesting and beautiful about the way influencers can breathe life into society, ideas, products. I think products are beautiful too. Pippa, you're a consumer. Pippa, you're giving into capitalism. Pippa, you're a consumerist. Yeah, kind of. I don't think stuff.
You're watching her stream. You're watching her clips. You're watching this video reacting to Pippa, bro. Yes, you're a consumer, and you were designed to be a consumer because everybody is designed to be a consumer. That's, you know, how a lot of shit works nowadays. Like you're basically being bred to consume. It's crazy.
Should make people happy, right? I don't think buying stuff should make you happy.
No,
but I do
it
think
absolutely doesn't.
I think
and
it's
it shouldn't.
beautiful to go listen. Like here's my like really stupid ass takes.
Let's hear
I
it.
think it's beautiful to just walk into a Walmart and you see all of these pieces of art and all these colors and all of these mundane things that make up our world, that surround us, that took hundreds of thousands of people, tens and hundreds of thousands of years to build up and create. I think it's beautiful. I think stupid shit like erasers and pencils and paper clips and shelves, I think they're beautiful in their own way. When you think about how many people it takes to make something.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
When you think about how far across the world these supplies had to be sourced from and then transported and refined in other places, and people had to develop like the tools and the skill sets.
Yeah, and the testing.
To like even just like a fucking shelf, right? You look at a fucking shelf and it's like, a shelf. It's just like some fucking wood and you put it together and you put it on the wall.
Where'd the wood come from?
But it's like, it's not
who built the shelf
that you just like fucking glued to the wall. And
who
even if
painted the shelf?
Like, look at like the history of glue.
Yeah.
Look at like the history of nails.
Where did this stuff
like,
come from?
That goes
it all
into,
came
like,
from somewhere.
Nails. Take a moment to like look at the differences in quality between like cheap nails and their materials and high quality nails and their materials. You know, it's interesting. It's crazy how much life has gone into every
taken for granted.
Mundane thing.
And it's taken for granted.
I don't know. But why are you being so sappy over Walmart? Because I go to Walmart a lot. Because my world has only recently started to expand.
Oh,
and
nice.
The more my world expands, the more different places that I see,
yeah,
the more I appreciate my little small town Walmart and my little
Cool.
IKEA bookshelves,
Good.
and I just
Appreciate
enjoy
the
it.
little things.
The world is
Good.
evil, but it's also really cool. I wish I could
I wouldn't say
appreciate
it's
things.
evil.
Just
There's evil people in it.
pick something that catches your attention for even a moment and just look it up. Read the Wikipedia article on it. Go find a fucking YouTube channel where it's their autistic hyperfixation to fucking explain how wax figures from Ripley's Believe It or Not are made.
Bro, how it's made.
Autism is a thing of beauty. Is that what this is? Dynamic Doodle, thank you. The piano gets Pippa sappy. It kind of does. Kind of
Yeah.
has an effect on me.
That's how music works.
Yep, it's a miracle that we can tune into someone talking about stuff in real time from anywhere in the world. It is, isn't
Yes.
it? It is a miracle.
Yes.
Could you imagine? You get
Yes.
transported back in time 500 years ago. You'd never get to experience anything like this. Isn't that
Exactly.
crazy? Your world would be so
You literally be born somewhere and you might die in the same place just because you probably wouldn't be able to go anywhere else. Like if you were born a farmer 500 years ago, there's a chance that you probably wouldn't do anything else besides farm until you die. Crazy. But I mean, some people are fine with that. Legitimately, I had a story because this video is already long, so I'll make it a short story. I had a guy talk to me about like we were talking about how people never leave their neighborhoods, and he was telling me about how he went to some little village area, and then there was a bridge, and he was talking to the guy that was living in the village, and he was like, "Oh, you know what's over here?" He's like, "Oh, there's a bridge," and he was like, "What's past the bridge?" He said, "I don't know. I never got that far." And that's like the punchline, but that's some real shit. Like he never went over the bridge and he's been living there for 50 years. Yeah, I forgot that part in the story. Yeah, the guy that he was talking to was like 50 something years old. So he never went over that bridge, even though the bridge was not that far. It was just down the street from where he lived. Yeah, there's people that legitimately live like that, even in America. There are people that are never left their neighborhood. There are people that have never left their state. They're never left their city. And they just sit in the same area and that's their life and that's their bubble and that's their worldview and that's their perspective on life. And that's just how it is for some people. For other people like me, I'm not even in Asia anymore. Like usually be like, oh yeah, I live in Thailand. It's like, I'm not in Thailand right now. Right now I'm in France. Or I'm in Europe, bro. I went from Asia to Europe and I started out in North America. You see what I'm saying? Like the perspectives that I have versus the perspective of somebody that's never left their neighborhood going to be completely different. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that my perspective is 100% necessarily better than that other guy's perspective. Because just because I've traveled the world and met a bunch of people and read a bunch of books, this person might know something that's more valuable to you. Like if you enjoy farming, going back to talking about farmers, like I wasn't raised on no farm. I know a bit about farming, but I'm pretty sure that guy knows way more about farming than I do. So if you want to learn something about farming, why are you going to ask the entrepreneur that travels the world? I don't know that much about farming, but that guy does. So yeah, definitely, perspectives matter for everybody. If you want to learn something super specific, find somebody that specifically knows that thing. That's called a subject matter expert. Those are the people you definitely need to talk to if you want to learn something super specific. If you want to know something more broad or get a more painted view of the world, well, then ask somebody like me that's gone and experienced more of the world because we can give you different interpretations of something, but it's not going to be super hyper specific or necessarily accurate to what you might be looking for because we're not a subject matter expert on everything. It's just not a thing.
so different. It'd still be wonderful though. There'd still be so many wonderful things around you. So many amazing products of the time that embody people's desires and passions and thoughts and
True.
beliefs, and like for better or for worse, right? Like sure, you're using fucking irrigation systems that have lead in them, but for the time, like that's so wonderful, isn't it? How far your society has progressed and how things are developing. You look out and
I'm
you see
happy
all
to see
these
Pippa
pipes
grow.
held up by sticks, feeding water into your crops. And now you can grow a fuck ton more crops. So now you can look out over a massive field of wheat and just admire something that wouldn't have been possible further before that, unless you like live on the river or whatever. Really focusing on material developments. What about social developments? Honestly, I don't know because I don't care as much about those.
Yeah, and
That's
there
not
it
what
is. It's like she doesn't go outside. Like as much as what I'm hearing from Pippa is cool. Like this is growth, this is development, but she still hasn't gone to the next level, right? She's speaking like somebody that's sitting on like level 8, but in reality, she went from like level 2 to level 4. It's development. It is important. But until you actually have your philosophy tested by somebody else in the real world, then it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. You can have these amazing ideas of how you think the world works or how you think it should work. But until you say that into somebody else's worldview and their perspective, and they say they disagree, if you can't react in a way that leads the conversation forward to where you either learn something or you both learn something, well, then it's honestly meaningless, to be honest. But at the same time, it's not 100% meaningless because then you can just try again somewhere else. Unless you're one of those people that are like, oh no, my opinion's always right and you're never going to change it. Well, then you're never going to grow and you're always going to be stuck at level 4. And there's 10 levels. Psych, there's actually 12 and you didn't know about it. Psych, there's actually more than 12 and you won't even know about it because you can't even get past level 5. So at the end of the day, does it matter? Right? If you can't get past level 5, does it matter if there's 12 levels? You let me know in the comments below.
Interest me
Hey, hit the like button if you're still here. I appreciate it.
personally. And you could be like, Pippa, that's like a... I don't mean that in like a, oh man, I think we should have slavery or whatever. I like things that I can objectively look at. I like things that I can...
Yeah,
Things that can...
definitely speaking like a level 4.
That can inspire me and give me hope for the future. When I look at like social progress and politics and stuff like that, all I can think about is, like, for me personally, all I can think about is like, oh man, everything is so intense. They're people, you know? They're so like, even these charismatic people that you trust to do right by you and your group of people, whether that's people of like a specific economic class or...
I went to go get something, right? Definitely everybody should be picking up something like this. Something like this. Something like this. But all of these things are on different levels, right? If you really want to grow, you really want to develop, it doesn't matter how many of these you read. I have more of these and I have a lot more at home. Reading all these, it doesn't matter until you're able to actually go outside and put it into reality. Reading, it'll help, but unless you're able to go outside and do these things or talk about these issues in front of people, it does not matter. At the end of the day, it will not matter because if you can't not necessarily convince another human being, but if you can't articulate yourself well or just explain your perspective and your ideals and your idea of what you think reality is, because reality is different for everybody, right? If I had a glass of water and it was half full, somebody would look at it and say it's half empty because their version of reality is different, even though that we're looking at the same thing. Even if we're hearing the same music, we're going to like it for different reasons. Even if we both like it for the same type of melody, we're going to like it for a different type of reason for liking the same melody. And unless you can say that outside or say it to somebody's face, you'll never really truly grow. And that's the crazy thing. It's like you're not going to really know about it until you actually go do it, right? Because what I'm saying, you might not believe until you actually go out and try this, right? I go out and I talk to people all the time. I'm an extroverted person. If you're an introverted person, you're online. Like convincing somebody online by typing or being in a Discord call is one thing versus being face to face with another human being, because that's when two different realities are sitting in the same point in time, and then you're bouncing your ideals off of each other. One is going to be listening, one is going to be speaking, but the listener is the person that is driving the conversation because you have the ability to switch lanes whenever you want, interject, stop, pause, right? Whatever they're saying, you can stop it at any moment by chiming in and saying, well, what about this? And it'll be something that they probably never even thought about, which might change their entire worldview on whatever the conversation is that you guys are having. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. If you're into this type of deeper, conversation pieces, this type of educational shit, like I'm down to like talk to you guys about this type of stuff, right? Like I said, I don't know if I said it in this video. To be honest, like I was supposed to go to bed like 2, 3 hours ago, but I like making videos for you guys because I like you guys. So, uh, like I said, I think in this video or in the other video, right? I know a lot of people that have a lot of money or have a lot of status or have a lot of fame or intelligence or whatever, right? And these are different people. These are not the same person, right? They are willing to share this information. Just like I'm willing to share it with you in the video, they're willing to share this information with you, but you'd have to meet them. And where do you meet them? Outside. How do you meet them? By talking about your ideals and your philosophies out loud. And when they chime in and say, well, this is what I think, you got them because now they're go ahead and saying everything that maybe you already, well, you might know it or you might feel like you know it, but you won't truly know it until you hear it come out of somebody else's mouth. Especially if this is somebody that you're not friendly with or somebody that you just met or is somebody that's just very interesting and you just start up a conversation, right? You won't know until you bounce these ideas off another human being. And that's just the end of this topic or conversation. Let's continue the video though.
Ethnicity or whatever, you know, like you put stock in these people and they don't always like live up to expectations and stuff, you know. I don't like politicians. I don't like politicians. They make me sad. I like listening to enlightened people. I don't. I like looking
So that means she don't like me, and it is what it is. It's okay.
looking at products and materials because I can just view them as they are, you know? And with people, it's so easy to idolize them or to see them as enlightened or whatever. But at the end of the day, we're all just people and we're so, I don't know. I like to look at VTubers.
I mean, bro, there's a difference between Albert Einstein and the guy that you met last week at the shopping mall. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I wouldn't take that, oh, we're both human, so we're both on the same level. I would not take that shit beyond face value.
I like to look at entertainers because I feel like you can take from that like your own like highly subjective enjoyment. I still do like the idea of like politicians, right? I love with politicians the idea that they can push change, that they can embody the ideals of people, that they can be like these figureheads and stuff, you know, like great emperors and shit like that. I think are fun to idealize. But for me, I can only really enjoy them after the fact, you know?
After they've already changed reality.
Ends up a great anybody by not enacting some sort of change, right?
Yeah.
Conquering other kingdoms or passing new laws that interest specific people. At the very least, you can say the world we live in today is more equal than ever before. I don't know. Hopefully.
I mean, bro, it's more equal than it's ever been, sure, but it is still not completely equal. There is definitely a substantial gap between the haves and the have-nots, and it does actually it's actually been getting wider, right? Even though it's gotten better, it is actually going wider because progression is not linear. It's never going to be a straight line going up. It's always going to be like this, but we're trying to make it go higher, right? Even if it goes up and down, we're trying to progressively make it go higher. So yeah, it might be in a down phase right now. It might be in an up phase next week. You never know. You never know. But it's up to each and every single one of us to develop ourselves into the best version of ourselves. Because when you become the best version of yourself, you're able to enact change out into the physical world because you've already mastered the internal. When you master the internal, the external will change. Okay. It's called cause and effect. You cannot cause a change by changing the effect. You cannot create a better cause by changing your effect. You can only cause an effect by creating a cause. I'm sorry, I tried to make it super simple, but I messed up the quote. But yes, cause and effect. The cause is internal, the effect is the the external. You cannot change the external and expect the internal to change. That is not how it works. You have to change the inside first, and then you can change the outside.
More people's lives are better than before. I hope more people can be able to live and survive and have hopes and dreams and passions. I'm gonna head off for the night.
Same, bro. I'm tired. This is a great video, though.
My name's Pippa.
My name's KhunShawn.
And I hope you guys
Have a good
Like that.
day.
I said I don't like people, but I do like people. People are fascinating.
People are
They just
fascinating,
also scare
100%.
me. But
Well, you gotta
I'm
get
happy
over
to
that
have you
fear.
guys here.
People are
That's all.
scary, but you gotta get over it. Yeah.
And happy to have the rest of Phase Connect and many
Mr.
wonderful
Fantastic,
friends
thank you for
that I
clipping
have
this.
developed on this quite long journey.
Yeah. It's about the
Recommend of
journey.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the streams for what it's worth. I think I like.
And it's like, even though I said earlier, like, yeah, she's speaking like a level 4, like, yeah, she's speaking like a level 4 now, but next year she might be speaking like a level 9, you know? Uh, progression is substantial, and it's only substantial depending on how much effort you put into it. If you don't put any effort into it, expect to get little results. But that's for everything in life. But let's read this super and then go to bed.
Like this part at the end the best. Well, thank you.
Cool.
I'm gonna send you guys off to bed.
Cool. That, like, yeah.
What's up?
Dub. Dub.
Tilde was away, Tilde.
Yeah.
Tilde was away, Tilde.
Yeah.
Tilde was away, Tilde.
I see why y'all watch her, bro. She's definitely very entertaining. I love listening to Pippa because these are the takes that come from somebody that obviously doesn't have any like bad intentions. They're trying to do the best possible thing that they can for their community, but it's not always accurate. That is like the best way to put it. It's like her advice is not wrong. It's not bad, but it can be improved. So, and improvement comes from the inside. Like I said, man, and like this is something that you just work on whenever you work on yourself. And hopefully you guys are working on yourselves. So if you are working on yourself, let's go. Like literally, if you're working on yourself every single day, eventually you'll look back and you'll be like, damn, look how far I made it. But you'll never realize it until you go outside and you start talking to people because that's the only way to really test it. As much as I meditated, as much as I read books, until I went outside and started yapping my gums, you never really know. But with all my training and all my practice, I'll say like 90% of the shit that I say apparently resonates with the people that I meet out into the world. So whatever that like that if that helps you try and like verify what I say, like that's the best way I can do it because unless you come outside with me, I mean, there's no other real way to verify it. But let me guys know your opinions in the comments below, especially if you made it this far. A 40-minute video for a 15-minute clip. Hey, there you go, man. I'm giving out game. Point blank period. So yeah, I hopefully see you guys soon with another insightful, in-depth, philosophical, spiritual, a little bit spiritual. It's like a little bit spiritual, but it's more of a philosophical type of conversation. And yeah, hopefully you guys stay tuned for the next one. It's your boy KhunShawn. This video comes from the Discord. Link down below. Join the Discord. Join the Twitch channel that's down there as well. If you want to become a member, or if you want to see more stuff like this, become a member. Um, Link in the description. You become a member. We'll be dropping videos like this. It won't be a reaction. It'll just be a video of me explaining like development and how to become better. And like this ain't no BS. I'm not trying to sell you a program. I'm just gonna put it in the members only because I feel like the members are going to be the only people to really get it, to be honest. Like I make videos for a bunch of different reasons, a bunch of different topics, and not everybody is ready for the type of conversations that I have. And I be having conversations with people from Stanford, Yale, Harvard, UC Berkeley. I be having intellectual conversations with a lot of very intelligent individuals. So if you guys want to hear about that type of stuff, join the membership link down below. It'll be in the foundation membership, not the hollow. The hollow membership is strictly like hollow videos. But if you guys want something like this, join the foundation membership. It's your boy KhunShawn, and I will see you guys on the next one, man. Y'all have a good night or good day whenever this is coming out. Peace.